Okay, we're just taking off from Seattle. Didn't expect to ride the ferry today, but as fate would have it, Rayanne took a wrong turn, which is fine with me. She was following the Seattle signs because that's what she followed on the way here. And it turned out that we ended up in Seattle instead of Tacoma. And I actually had wanted to take a ferry ride while I was here. I just didn't think it was going to be on my way home from the airport. There's the other ferry. I think it's a little newer ferry than the one we're on. We're on actually one of the older ferries that has a deck that you can walk out on, which I was just talking to Rayanne and told her that I really like those ferries because you can get out and walk on the deck, which is on the top level here, and you can walk on the deck the whole way outside. It's pretty windy though. If I was down on the lower deck, you could probably go out in the very end and we could see a little bit more of the wake that we're creating, but over there is the space needle. Let's see if I can get it in view. There we go. 600 feet, I think it's 600 feet tall, I think. And we're going to pan out. We're kind of in front of the Safeco field. You can't really see it. It's through those windows over there. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. Probably about 70 degrees, maybe a little bit more. People are out in their sailboats, enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. There's a great shot of the Seattle skyline. There's a seagull trying to get his lunch from someone. He's keeping up with the ferry pretty good.